Yeah. Is that is that is that the YouTube faithful? YouTube! What's going on, baby? We out here, man. Y'all know what it is. We continuing the March Madness. Y'all know what's going on. We got the reactions for you today, and we got the picks for you for today, tonight's game, and tomorrow night's game. Let's get into it, man. Starting off, we got LSU versus Michigan State, and it really turned out how I thought it would. Michigan State ran away with it. LSU, kind of sorry, not really sorry. The Cinderella streak ends for them. Their coach still being out for the cheating scandal. It's kind of like good riddance, all right. But Tremont Waters went 7 for 16 from the field, 4 for 9 from three, which really didn't help anything. Them being down most of the game, it didn't really do much. But only two of their other starters combined for 10 points on 5 of 20 shooting from the field, and 0 for 7 shooting from three. Javonte Smart, the starting guard, went 0 for 6, 0 points after scoring 9 in each of the first 2 tournament games, so that didn't help at all either. But it was just a bad matchup, bad timing with the coaching scandal and all of that. It wasn't it. It wasn't it for LSU. As far as Michigan State goes, they are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They handle business. Their defense continues to play well. They held LSU to 39% shooting from the field and 28% shooting from three. They had 6 blocks and 41 boards, which is right around their averages for the season. So they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's a very normal game for Michigan State. That's really all I have for that. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Nothing shocking, nothing spectacular. It was just normal Michigan State doing what they're supposed to be doing. Their next opponent is Duke tomorrow, Sunday. So, see how that goes. But next game we got is Auburn versus UNC, and I was really, really wrong on this game. I'm taking that L. I'm taking it. They beat UNC. Auburn beat UNC 97-80. Very impressed by Auburn. Very impressed. 97 points. That's wow. They beat yet another team shooting the 3 ball. They went 17-37 from 3, about 45%. It makes up for their lack of rebounding. They didn't really rebound well, but they haven't as long as they've been in the tournament this year. So they had 8 steals and 6 blocks, which is really good defensively. They had a presence coming into this game. Gotta feel bad for Okeke though. That's tough, man. That is really tough, especially in a win. You always hate to see players get injured, but in a win, it's just like it makes the win bittersweet. It's just like, we won, yeah, but we lost our player. Like they need him, they really do. Bad news is they think it's a serious injury, so. Sorry, man. But their next opponent is Kentucky tonight. So, well, actually, no, this is tomorrow night. Excuse me. Right? Am I correct? No, this is tonight. It's tonight. Excuse me. It is tonight. UNC just, wow. Again, this is the second year in a row that everybody's just going, what is this? Why are you... I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding. UNC, this is the second year in a row that you failed to show up in a tournament game. You just didn't show up. And I'm like, what is going on? Just wow. 14 turnovers. Come on. UNC though. Out of all teams, I did not expect 14. They had the third best assist to turnover ratio coming into the game of the teams that were remaining in the tournament. Assist to turnover ratio in this game, they had 16 assists to 14 turnovers. That is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. That is uncharacteristic of this team. 7 of 28 from three. This was not UNC. I don't know who this was, but this wasn't UNC. It couldn't have been. Not the powerhouse team that I talked about. Couldn't have been. Look, man. But I mean, we never talked about their defense. Their defense wasn't a strength of theirs, and they got exposed. So, but the 14 turnovers really don't help. I mean, come on. You killed yourself this game. You did. Let's be honest here. But Auburn plays Kentucky tonight. So, also getting into the Virginia Tech versus Duke game. This was a great game. Virginia Tech, almost. They were this close to pulling off overtime. They really were. The game ended up, I believe it was like half a second on the clock, or I think it was half a second on the clock at the end. Actually, the play before that, they airballed a three on okay look. It wasn't a great look, but it wasn't a bad look. Their best shooter took the shot. He just airballed the shot. But they ended up getting the ball back one more time, missing the alley-oop lob in front of the rim. And that's heartbreaking, man. I mean, perfect. Play set up perfectly. Dude comes off the screen, heads straight to the basket, untouched. Lob goes up perfectly right at the rim. Dude goes up, and he's drifting to his left. So he lets the ball go, and the ball goes left too. It's the left side of the rim, and that's game. And that's a heartbreaking way to go. They said that he was a senior. That was his last game. So, man, that's tough. That's tough. But they took RJ out of the game in the first half. In the second half, they couldn't stop him. So that was a big reason that Duke ended up winning this game. Their offense remained balanced. Kerry Blackshear looked unstoppable at times. It was just like you give him the ball, he's going to get fouled or he's going to put up a bucket. It's going to happen most of the time in this game. But, yeah, they just couldn't finish the game. They had multiple opportunities to finish Duke off, and they just could not do it. I mean, they airballed 2 threes, I believe, one from the corner and one from, like, the right elbow. It was just, wow, I was as cheering for Duke as I was kind of like biting my nails, like, oh man, I'm texting my friends. I'm like, man, if they make this, excuse me, they make this three, I'm gonna go crazy if they make this three because they're down 2 points, 73-75. If they make this three, that's game. Like, I don't see Duke scoring again, but they just could not finish this team off. So, on the other hand, Duke just keeps finding ways to win. A lot of people talk about like the basketball gods being on their side. They just keep finding a way to get there, get the dub. Zion and RJ showed up again, but Trey Jones surprised the world against V-Tech. Was this a makeup game for the last game where he went 1 for 8 from 3? I mean, dude, I believe he was like 5 for 7 or something like that. I might be mistaken, but he shot really well from the 3 line, and everybody was surprised. Like, this guy, throughout the season, he was like 20-something% three-point shooter. It was something to watch. But this team is really missing Cam Reddish. His replacement, O'Connell, only managed 4 points in 35 minutes, 0 for 4 from 3. Cam scored 12 in the first game and 13 in the second game, so his absence was really felt in this game. But their next opponent is Michigan State. They play on tomorrow night, Sunday night. Final reaction: Houston versus Kentucky. This game made me mad. Because I picked Houston, and my pick was so on point up until the last few possessions. I'm just like, I really got a good pick here. Houston played perfectly. They adjusted. They kind of, as y'all remember in my last video, a key to the game for them was them being able to rebound so well. They, especially on the offensive boards, and Kentucky took that away. They took that away immediately. But Houston ended up adjusting in the second half and coming back. They came back and they had the lead for a little minute too, going in late in the game. But Armani Brooks went 6 for 12 from three, which is not bad at all. Corey Davis Jr. went 1 for 7 from three. That's not good. Just one more three from him probably would have changed the game as well. But Breon Brady had 0 points in 9 minutes. Chris Harris Jr. had 0 points in 21 minutes off the bench. He had 2 rebounds, 2 fouls. Bryson Gresham had 0 points, 2 rebounds. He fouled out in 10 minutes of play time. They allowed their average number of points. They allowed 62. They were allowing 61 coming into the tournament. They showed a lot of heart, but just 23 fouls on Houston versus 13 against Kentucky. It was just too much for them to overcome. They had a couple players that fouled out in key moments, and I think that really changed how this game ended, honestly. In the end, Houston had a chance to tie the game up, and they couldn't do it. Kentucky played really good defense throughout the game, actually. Kentucky, they escaped a sloppy offensive game. They really did. They took Houston out early by boxing out and hustling to the boards and the loose balls. It seemed like every time it was a 50-50 ball, Kentucky was getting it. They really hustled to the ball. They really did. But 14 turnovers is just not going to cut it. 14 turnovers, Kentucky, to only 11 assists. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. But overall, it was one call near the end of the game, too, that got Bryson Gresham, I believe, fouled out. And he was guarding the dude. Arms behind his head. And they still called this man for the foul. And he was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm talking about he was infuriated. And that would have been too. He was heated going to the bench. They were trying to calm him down. He was like, no, I'm not going to calm him down because that was that was a call that shouldn't have been called. But he ended up, I think Kentucky ended up making the shot, getting the and one, getting the free throw, tying the game up. And they took control from there, from that point to the end of the game. But those are my reactions from the Friday night games. So now we're going to move on to the Saturday picks. Let's get into it. Texas Tech versus Gonzaga. This game is going to be great. It's going to be great. This is tonight's game. Texas Tech, this is their second straight Elite Eight. So they're still building some momentum. They haven't faced an offense this potent all tournament. They have not faced an offense that can score like Gonzaga. They haven't, honestly. Keeping their key to the game for Texas Tech would be to keep the winning formula. Matt Mooney has to shoot a low amount again. Will David Moretti step up again? They have to continue to feed Tyreek to slow the game down because they have to slow Gonzaga's game down. They have to. Being with the way they play defense, they wanna slow the game down. They do, and they're looking for their first ever Final Four appearance. And they can't have 6 points going 9 minutes into the game against Gonzaga. Gonzaga's gonna score. We know that. We know Gonzaga's gonna score, but Texas Tech cannot afford to have 6 points going into 9 minutes of the game like they did against Michigan. They can't have it. They gotta score. They gotta find a way to score. That's always been the question with Texas Tech. They have to find a way to score. But Gonzaga has to force turnovers. They do really well scoring off turnovers. So if they can force turnovers early, get Brandon Clark going early as well. Don't shy away from the three. They love taking the three. Keep taking them. Big key for Gonzaga is run, run, run. They have to run. They have to tire this defense out, and they have to keep the pace up tempo. They have to keep everything going fast, fast, fast. Because Texas Tech wants to slow it down. You want to speed up their tempo. You want to get them tired early, have them calling timeouts. Make this game in your style of play if you're Gonzaga. They have to take advantage of Texas Tech's slow start offensively. I'm telling y'all, man, if Texas Tech comes out with another 6 points in 9 minutes, this game is going to be all in Gonzaga's favor. Because Gonzaga is going to score. They are going to score. They shoot. They make contested threes. This team is full of shooters. So, I mean, I'm looking for Gonzaga to win this game, honestly. And I rarely pick offense over defense, but this team right here, they can do both too. They can play defense. They can really play offense. So this could be their revenge year from their 2017 loss to UNC. So we'll see. Gonzaga, I'm picking you to go to the Final Four. What's good? What's going on? You my first pick. Gonzaga, let's go. Let's get it done. But we moving on. Purdue versus Virginia. This is also tonight's game. Purdue has to ride the hot hands of Ryan Cline and Carson Edwards. They are scoring at a very high rate. Ryan Cline really came out last game with, I believe, 27 points, around 27 points. 7 for 10 from 3. He was magical. I'll just say that. They have to continue to play as a team, continue to spread the ball around. Despite those two being their primary scorers as of late, they are still passing the ball. They're not being selfish with it. They can't take their foot off the gas again like they did against Tennessee. They can't have it. They can't. They were up 17 points and ended up going to overtime in that game. That cannot happen against Virginia. That cannot happen. Do you hear me, Purdue? That cannot happen. Keep your foot on the gas. Keep your head in the game. Stay focused. Finish the game. They must play better defensively. They didn't play that well defensively against Tennessee. They allowed 50% shooting from the field and from the three-point line. So, but this is the furthest Purdue has been in over a decade. They're a really hungry team. They must shoot better from the free throw line, man. 15 out of 31 free throws. That's how they got back in the game right there. You make at least 5 of those free throws, you're good at the end of the game. You don't have to worry about overtime. But you missed 16 free throws? Come on, man. Purdue. Hit your free throws. Let's not make this game longer than it should be, Purdue. Hit your free throws, play better defensively, and stay focused for the full game. That's all you got to do. You got the team to do it. But, I mean, Carson, the one word that comes to mind when I think of Carson Edwards is fearless. This man, he really is fearless. He'll take any shot. He'll go in the paint and take contact, get the layup and the foul. He does everything that you want a player to do, that you want to lead your team. He's leading this team for real. And he's fearless, man. He has no fear. He goes in there, he plays his heart out, and he just does what he does. He's going to score. We know that. He's going to score. It doesn't matter what defense you come up with. He's going to score. But as far as Virginia goes, I mean, there's your key right there. Shut down Carson Edwards. They cannot shoot. Virginia cannot shoot 35% from the field again, like they did against Oregon. They cannot do it. They can't. Not against Purdue. Virginia has to get up early. They got the number 1 defense in basketball. They have to get up early and make Purdue chase them all game. Balance is nice, but take better shots. Take better shots. 35% is not cutting it. Take better shots. Balance. They have a balanced offense, but they have to take better shots to win this game. They're looking for their first Final Four since 1984. So this team has something to fight for. They have something to be proud of. Uh, this is one of those games that I feel like can go either way. But that being said, I'm going to have to take Purdue because Carson Edwards is that man. But, I mean, when you get Carson Edwards with Ryan Klein, that's dangerous. That really is. So I'm going to take Purdue in this one. Let's roll over to the Sunday picks. We got Auburn versus Kentucky. Auburn, keys to the game, I would just say keep shooting. Keep shooting the ball. It's working. Just keep shooting the ball. You're not rebounding well, so keep shooting the ball. Just keep shooting. You making threes. Keep shooting the threes. Don't be afraid of it. Be who you are. Don't try to be any other team. Keep shooting. Keep forcing turnovers. I think they forced like 11 turnovers last game, if I'm not mistaken. Another thing is do it for Okeke. I mean, this man played his heart out. Very valuable to the team. I know being a former athlete myself, when we had a person that was very valuable or a star player go down, that motivated us. That motivated me. Because when you see that, you're just like, man, you should be out here with us. But we don't want to let you down. We don't want your loss to be in vain, you know. But that being said, they must shoot better from the free throw line. 47%, 8 of 17 free throws against UNC. That's not good. That is not good. That is really not good. 8 for 17, you got to do better. You got to do better. But they're looking for their first ever Final Four appearance. That's huge. So the pressure is on Auburn. You've never been here before as an organization, as a team. This is your moment. What are you going to do with it? But Kentucky, take care of the ball. 14 turnovers will certainly lose you this game. Definitely. It's going to lose you this game if you turn the ball over. You can't do it. You have to shoot well. No, they shot well against Houston. They shot 47%. They only took 12 threes, so that's not really a strong suit I'm seeing. But keep crashing the glass. They had 11 offensive boards last game, so that's a positive. They won that rebounding battle by I believe 11, somewhere around there. Might have been more than that, honestly. But they're looking for their second Final Four in 5 years. My pick this game is going to be Auburn. So I'm picking against Kentucky again. Please, Auburn, please. Play your style of ball. Keep shooting the basketball. You just beat one of the best teams ever. UNC, one of the best organizations ever. Don't get a hangover from that. Keep this going. You're looking for your first Final Four. That's not your milestone. Your milestone is going to be getting to the Final Four. So let's get it done. Keep shooting the ball. Keep shooting the ball. Michigan State versus Duke. This is another tough game to call. Michigan State has to continue to dictate games with their defense and play their brand of basketball. Like I said before, their last game against LSU was just their game. They played their way. And if they do that again this game, it's going to be another win. It's that simple for them. They're looking like a perfect team as far as doing everything you're supposed to do, rebounding, shooting. They're doing everything they're supposed to be doing as a basketball team. So they're looking for their second Final Four in 4 years, as well as Duke. Duke is also looking for their second Final Four in 4 years. Duke must play cleaner offensively to start the game. They had a couple turnovers really early in the game that really kind of, I guess it was just early game jitters, I guess, since Zion and RJ never been there before, but they had 11 turnovers overall. They can't do that. They cannot do that ever again in this tournament. They have to force their way inside without getting called for charges and off-ball fouls. As far as the big man, as far as Zion, one thing I saw from Zion late in the game. Actually, this was a couple times in the game last night against Virginia Tech. He would force his way, like he would get the ball, pivot, and then he would try to come around and do this little hop step or Euro step, and he would try to get around the defender instead of backing him down or passing it out, and he would end up getting called for a charge. I think it happened twice, 2 or 3 times. I know they took the charge at least twice. But these teams late in this tournament are not going to be afraid to take the charge because it's going to get them the ball back. They realize that. And you got to be more disciplined if you're Zion. Also, they need someone like Trey Jones to step up and hit the outside shots. They got to have somebody else to do it. Whether it be Trey Jones again or maybe O'Connell comes out with a big game. I don't know. But they got to have somebody to make these shots. They really do. They're also looking for their second Final Four in 4 years. So we'll see. This is a really tough game to pick for me. But I'm going to have to go with Duke because they just keep finding ways to win. It's that simple. They just keep finding ways to win. And I don't know. I get that feeling about this team. There was one play against the Virginia Tech game that just flipped the whole flow, the whole feel of the game. Virginia Tech throws a pass inside. Trey Jones, one hand snags it midair. Boom. I'm like, oh, crap. And he comes down the court, passes it up. Another guy throws it up. I'm thinking the lob is too high. Zion Williamson. Oh, my God. Elbows above the rim. I mean, skies. He's skies above the rim. I'm talking about boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh, that's too high. He goes up. Boom. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm talking about the rim. The rim is here. His elbows are up here with the ball. What do you do? Like, who made you like this? But it's those type of plays that they can make that can change the whole momentum of the game, that can get their whole team hyped up. And it did just that. Everybody in the arena went crazy because it was insane. Nobody saw that coming. He threw it up, so everybody's like, oh, that's going to be too high. Zion grabbed it. I'm talking about he grabbed it clean, too. Man, I went crazy, but I'm taking Duke. Those are my picks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for watching. I will be dropping videos next weekend as well, reaction videos to these games, as well as picks for the next games. So stay tuned. It's your boy, Jay. YouTube, we out of here. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know all that good stuff, man. All right, we out of here.